What's up, Radiant Icons, and welcome back to Dare to Be Iconic, the podcast made for icons daring to be themselves. I'm your host, Amanda Policelli, and before I reveal what episode we are going to be listening to today, make sure to connect with me on socials on Instagram and TikTok. It's at Amanda Policelli _ and at Dare to Be Iconic _. And if you're on LinkedIn, because you know I love me some LinkedIn, it's at Amanda Policelli. And speaking of socials, if you guys have seen my Instagram post from this morning, then you already know. But if not, no worries. I'm going to spill the tea right here, right now. I am so excited to announce Dare to Be Iconic's second masterclass in our masterclass series for 2025, Daring to Be Confident. Our next masterclass will be on April 19th, and spots are limited for this class, so make sure to reserve your ticket today under the Empowerment Events section on daretobeiConic.com. I am so beyond excited for this masterclass in particular. It is inspired by the very popular 30-day challenge, Daring to Be Confident. You guys loved it so much, I decided to turn it into a masterclass for you guys so we can get into that nitty-gritty of radiating confidence from the inside out. And I just can't wait to see you guys there. Make sure to grab your tickets. And if you do, send me a DM. I want to chat with y'all. So, yeah. Anywho, let's get to today's episode. We are going to listen to an exclusive cutting room clip from our third everyday icon this season, Becs. So, are you ready, Radiant Icons? Because your tea time sesh is starting now. I feel like as we've grown up acting, right, up till now to this point, like I feel like the industry has gotten a little bit more accepting of everyone. Like I feel like it's more inclusive. I think that's the right way to say it. Like the industry has gotten more inclusive, whether that's body positivity, so on and so forth. Like I think there was that human element that was missing when we just had started,
Break it down for everybody.
Yeah.
We were starting our entertainment careers when America's Next Top Model was on, and size
Oh, yeah, that's a
4
great
women
way
were
to
being told that they were morbidly obese.
Yeah, no, that
that's
was and I
that's
looked
when
up
we
to
started.
America's Next Top Model, though. That's the thing that's so crazy. Like, Tyra Banks was, like, my girl. Like, I loved her. I loved America's Next Top Model. Like, I probably have said this on the podcast. Like, let's be so for real. I would practice walking on the runway and, like, being like, do, 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 do. I'm a 4'11" girl I'm a curvy woman, curvy and short. But like Tyra was saying that I had to look a certain way, and that's what I thought, and that contributed to a lot of like my self-esteem and like my body image issues. The main part of it was watching TV and watching the shows like America's Next Top Model and not looking like any of them. Whether it was my height or my weight, I never truly felt like I was going to belong in the industry. And maybe that's why I was like, you know what, I need to step back because it's no longer fun trying for me because I was getting rejected so much. And rejection is a big part of it, whether we're acting or whether we're content creators, right? Or influencers, however you want to label us. Rejection is a big part of it. So how do you deal with rejection?
Not well, I could tell you that much.
Yeah, no, we definitely don't deal with it well. I already knew the answer,
Yeah.
but you know what? Let's just talk about it. Like it's not fun, but let's
So,
talk about it.
along with like some of my mental health stuff that I have going on, which it's not what this podcast episode is about. But it's it's hard for me to accept rejection, and it hurts a little bit more, like when it's something, obviously it's going to hurt more when it's something that you really wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember the first time that I was turned down and told no for
Really?
a role. It was my freshman year of high school, and I was going to a performing arts school, so everybody there was, in the field. And I had auditioned for the spring musical, which was Cinderella. And I'm not the best singer, but I got into the school. Every show that I had auditioned for beforehand, I had gotten in. I auditioned for the fall show and I got in. I was thinking like maybe a nice ensemble role. And I remember opening up the letter because it was an actual letter this time. They
Wow,
usually,
what? I've never heard of
yeah.
that. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it
Period.
was like you went like as you were leaving for the buses, you would like stop and pick up your letter. It was
Wait,
like an
Bex,
end of
you're
the day thing.
younger than me. Like you're literally not
Yeah.
by much, everyone, okay? I'm not that old. I'm literally 25. And like Bex is like, you're 23, right? 23?
Yeah.
You just turned 23,
Mhm.
right? Okay. Yeah, we're doing this before our birthdays.
Just turned 23. I'm turning 24 like
I
next month.
know, I know, I
But
know.
yes, no, I did just turn 23.
Yeah.
I'm actually I didn't get to vote this year. I'm a child.
Yeah, literally. We're so young and out of the womb.
I'm just
But
so I'm brand new. I was born last week.
no, literally, that's why I look so good. But like I I'm older than you by like a year or two, and like I never ever heard of like a physical letter. So that is mind blowing to me. But okay, anyway, not the
Yeah.
point of the story, but like please, I just had to say
Yeah.
that. That's like so mind blowing. Okay, okay. Like,
Yeah, it was a weird thing. Like usually they'll put up like the call list,
yeah,
like you
that's
see
what I'm
that in a bunch of
thinking.
like
Yeah.
yeah. My school, I think it was because it was specifically performing arts that they gave letters so everybody could open them in private and it wasn't
Oh,
a
that's
big
that's actually
thing.
a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got my letter and I walked out and I was opening it with my friend and uh I remember she opened hers and she looked at it and then she was like, "Oh, well, what does yours say?" And I opened mine and it said, "We do not have a role for you." And I was like, I remember like my face fell. Like I just felt completely drained in that moment because it was the first time that I had ever experienced a rejection. And no, we don't have a role for you. No, you're not going to be in this one. Like and it was learning at 14 years old how to deal with that gracefully because
Mhm.
now you have a whole bunch of other people around you. Spoiler, everybody around me also got to know. And like having to be like, "Oh, well, there's always next time." Like there's next year. We could do it next year. Because you don't want to be that one person that's like, "Well, why didn't I get cast?" Standing in a
Yeah.
circle of a bunch
And
of
it's
people who
so
also
easy
didn't
to
get
do that.
cast.
Yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. And it's like, "Oh, well, I deserve the role more than you." Like because you
Yeah,
didn't, you
no.
know?
I get that. No, I totally do. So, what has it taught you about yourself, and how do you stay motivated to keep pushing forward towards that one yes?
So, obviously, it's been a couple years since that first rejection, and there have been a lot more after. Um, I never got to do a musical at the school. Guess what? I'm not a singer. It kind of makes sense, you know? So, um, there were definitely a lot more rejections that followed that one, and some of them were harder than others, and some of them weren't even a complete no. Like I auditioned for Alice in Wonderland. I was hoping to get the role of Alice, and I got the White Queen instead. Um, and I also got to be Humpty Dumpty a couple times. That was fun. um, but it was making the best out of that role. And that was one of the roles that my acting teacher had told me that the character that I am bringing to it specifically is like the little bit of me that I brought, what I had to offer, the character of the White Queen, like lit up the stage, basically, is what he told me. And he could have just been saying that to make me feel better, but I feel like that helped a lot with understanding that there's going to be a lot of no's, but the yeses that you get are going to be that much sweeter because of it. Like, don't, just because it's not going the way that you anticipated doesn't mean that it's not going the way that it's supposed to, right?
Period. Because we're exactly where we're meant to be, even if it doesn't feel like it, everyone. We are exactly where we're supposed to be. Because we got to trust that
Right.
path like we trust an Uber, point blank and period.
The
Okay.
rejections, they still hurt every once in a
Yeah.
while. Like, my dream company to work for right now, and every time I send something and I go, and they go, no.
They say, not
No,
yet,
they
because
say
it's
not
coming for you,
you.
you know? Stop. Oh my God, no.
Um,
It's going to happen, Bex. It is. Like you said, like
yeah,
it's going to
I never
happen.
am going to give up.
Yeah,
Eventually, they are going to hire me because eventually there
exactly.
is going to be a role that I am perfect for, and they're going to have to finally give me a yes. And
Period.
all of the
Yes,
rejection in the past is not going to matter at that point
exactly.
because I got, something. And if I just give up, then I'll never get a yes. And it'll just be that history of no's that I'm stuck with. And that's not good for me. I'm
Yeah,
not
no.
okay with just getting a no and then giving up. I'm
Yeah, that's
eventually
not
going to
you.
hear a yes, a congratulations, we have
Exactly.
this for you.
All right, Radiant Icons, that is your tea time sesh for today. I hope you enjoyed today's Cutting Room Floor episode with Bex. Make sure to subscribe, to leave a comment, to leave a rating, to leave a review, to tell your friends about us, to tell anyone and everyone because we love more radiant icons in our iconic community of ours. And also, radiant icons, make sure to grab yourself some Radiant Love merch. Yes, Dare to Be Iconic's first ever merch line is now live. I am so excited to see you guys repping your radiant icon pride. So make sure to grab your merch today. That link is in the show notes below. But anywho, I will chat with you guys next week. Remember, radiant icons, dare to be iconic. Bye.